again, it's me. How's it going? I hope you've been practicing. So today I would like to make a start on scroll pinstriping, slightly different style of design. Um, scrolls are scroll type pinstriping is something I really enjoy. Um, However, it's something that is not that easy to master. For example, when I first started pinstriping a few years back, I was trying to do some scrolls, and I wasn't. It just didn't happen for me. It was difficult to get it looking right. So I stopped doing scrolls altogether, and probably took me a year or a year and a half before I picked up that scrolling brush and got back to it again. But there are a few tricks I will try to show you today that get me the consistent results and the design that looks like it's very pleasing for the eye, and I'm happy with it. So I'll try to show you what I do. Again, it's the things I do. It's not how it should be done. By all means, not how it's supposed to be done. It's just how I do it and how I make it a bit more interesting for myself. As I said, it's definitely a style I really enjoy doing. So I will do my best to take you through the journey of scrolls and see if you can pick something up on the way. Let's do this. Join me for the ride, and let's hope you enjoy. Here we go. So before we start, let me introduce you to this gentleman. You've met him briefly in a previous episode about brushes. This guy's name is Wizard Vortex. It's number 1. It's also made by Mac company, M-A-C-K, like the previous sword line I've been using. It's been designed together with a gentleman called Steve Shigeika, American pinstriping and airbrush artist, Wizard Graphics. You can check them out. The guy's got incredible talent, unlike me. Yeah, and I've been using this brush for probably 4 or 5 years now, pretty much from the very beginning, and it's been serving me well. Same drill. You look after it just like the other brush. You clean it just like the other brush using the white spirits, and it's been soaking in motorcycle engine oil when it's not in use, and I try to keep it straight so it doesn't deform its shape. The beauty about it is you don't need to hold it any specific way. There's no upside down or left to right. It is all the same from every angle. You aim to hold it more or less 90 degrees angle to your piece. Sometimes you can spin it one way or the other, but you don't need to twist it and turn it in your fingers when you go around the corners. You will kind of follow the corner with the line when you got the hair right. From the top of my head, I can't remember whether I had to cut it down straight from the package, but as a rule of thumb I would say if you get a scrolling brush or pinstriping brush or any other brush, before you put the razor blade to it, before you cut it down on the tip, take it for a spin, take it for a test ride, pinstripe the shit out of it, use it for as long as you can, and if you see some kind of flare-outs at the end of the lines, and if you can see the couple of hairs sticking out in the end and the lines are not even, only then put the razor blade to it and just cut literally like 1 or 2 mil from the top of the brush head over here. As you can see, this one is nice and straight in the end and sharp, and that is working just fine. If you look after your brush well, it will stay like this for a long time. Yeah, so let's load up the brush, exactly same technique as we did before, and I'm going to show you some basic scroll lines so we can start practicing that. Okay, so you palette this brush exactly same technique and the same way as you palette the other one. It just looks slightly different, but the process doesn't change. It's in fact the same for all the brushes. Make sure that paint goes inside that brush and you can hold it, a lot. The beauty of the Wizard Vortex is you can actually hold a lot of paint, so you don't need to repalette so often in between the strokes, and you can pull quite big lines with it. And again, consistency here is it's the most important thing right at the moment. I cannot stress enough how important that is. You cannot have it too thin, you cannot have it too thick, because the paint is not gonna flow right, and it's something I cannot show you on a video. You need to experiment with that. You need to just play around and just get that consistency right. So when you pull in these lines, especially with scrolling designs, you need to get it right. But that's something that will come with practice. You may not get it straight away, but it will come to you, and once you find that sweet spot, it'll be very easy to come back to it. Right, I hope you get a good angle from here, from the side. I try to find the right spot for you so you can see what I'm doing. Once your brush is fully loaded, and again, the consistency is the key here. You can't have it running too thick, or you have it too thin, because it's just not going to work, as I explained before. But if the consistency is right, you should be able to do this pattern with this brush. So what I want to do is start on very basic scrolls, not even very artistic, but again, we're going to practice line consistency here with a brand new brush. So the way I'm holding it, I try to hold it 90 degrees to my board, to my practice panel, or whatever that is, the surface you're painting, and it's kind of bracing myself, my whole hand instead of just pinky, and follow like a circular design, and I'm going to connect them all the way through, and I try to work on my way down to see if I can pull a decent line over here. Let's have a look at this. There you go. See how quickly you can pull it when the consistency of paint is right. Just go all the way down, and then when you finish with one side, repel it quickly on the side, and I try to replicate it on the other side, going the other way, the other direction. Again, 90 degrees to the practice panel, and we go with it. Let's have a look. Yeah, there we have it. Just basic, simple, consistent circular designs. You can see how much paint this little brush can hold. Probably didn't need to repel it in between these, but I did, and it's a very fast and effective way of doing it. So that's what I want you to practice. I'm going to show you this one more time, just in more detail, but this is the result you want to have at first, I think. Okay, so that's hopefully a little closer angle. Maybe you can pick it up better. Once again, I'm holding the brush pretty much 90 degrees straight down. I'm not twisting or turning down my fingers, yeah? I'm holding it straight down, and I'm doing smooth circular motion, trying to keep my brush 90 degrees towards the practice board the whole time. Let's do it slightly slower. Obviously the previous one is just an example of what you can do later on. But when you start, you want to start slow. You need to walk before you run, just like anything else. So let's have a look at this again. Press the tip down, don't press it too hard, and then slowly just work that circle all the way down. You can cross over if you want to, you don't need to. But try to keep the line consistent at all times. Yeah? And the same thing the other way around. Just press down, don't press too hard, and try to keep the same pressure. Not always possible, but try to keep the same pressure all the way around. You don't need to be a perfect circle, that's not the aim. The aim is to have consistent line for the whole design. Yeah. So that's what we're looking for. Try to do it once again from another angle. Hopefully you can pick something up from this. I'm not sure what works best, but it's all trial and practice, trial and error. So again, press the tip of the brush down, yeah, and slowly work it down in a circular motions. And as you can see, the brush will follow that curvature of the line. You don't need to do anything. Brush will do all the hard work for you. Yeah, and the other way around. Let's have a look from here. The brush is working for you. All the hard work is doing by the brush. There you go. Okay, to make it slightly more interesting, before we go to feather designs and teardrop designs and thicken lines and thinner lines in the same design, which we're going to cover in the next video, let's make it slightly more interesting, and we're going to change direction while we're going. So instead of going one way and then the other way first, we're going to do one design in the middle, and we're going to go left to right, and then the same design we're going to change direction right to left. Let's have a look if I can show you this. So I'm going towards the left first. And right now I'm going to change it, go to the right, couple of circles, and let's do it again, change direction. And again, just like that. And again, view from the other angle now. I'll do the same thing. I'll try to do 2 circles towards the left, and then change direction and go towards the right, and then over and over again. So let's have a look at that. So I'm starting from the top. 1 and 2 towards the left, and I'm changing direction, and towards the right, and I change direction again. That's it. Let's try it again from the top view. Maybe I'll try to take you for a ride with me. So, by the way, this is the same practice board. I just keep wiping it with a white spirit in between the takes, so it looks a bit grey now, but I'll take care of it later on. So yeah, once again, notice when you change in direction, this circle, this turn, needs to be slightly tighter. So if you slow down when you're making the turn, and make sure that brush is holding, you hold the brush 90 degrees straight to the board. The more you twist the brush, the more difficult it's going to be, because the hair of the brush will need to find a natural way of bending around it. So the straighter you hold it, basically the brush should work for you. All the hard work will be the brush and not in your hands and your fingers. So when you're going from the top, you do couple of circles like that, and then when you change the direction, slow down, you go the other way around, and the same thing this way, slow down, and the brush is working for me, and I'll go the other way around. Hope you can see it okay, guys. Okay, you slow down and change that direction, sharp corner. Yeah, hope that all makes sense. make sure you look after the brush, you know, correctly. After all, you spend on it 15-20 pounds, something like that. Make sure it will serve you for a while, so clean it thoroughly with white spirit or some other thinner of your choice. And then remember my little trick, motorcycle engine oil, that's what I've got, or any other oil will work, you know, some car oil, and even olive oil will probably work just fine. Rinse it in the oil it up nicely, leave it with residue on it, and it will protect it. It will not dry out, and you will even get rid of all the pigment, all the paint that goes deep inside there. That's beautiful. Lay it down flat, as I told you before, and it will be waiting there, ready for your next run, next practice. There we have it. That will do for today. Nice and simple, I hope. What I want you to do is practice this basic line control with a brand new brush, just to get a feel for it, develop that line consistency and consistent results at the moment. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about making it fancy and adding teardrops and feather drops and wheat design. We're going to cover that in a later video, as it is a very interesting aspect of scrolling pinstriping. But at the moment I want you to focus on those circular lines and changing direction. See how you feel with that. Again, paint consistency is equally as important as your skill with the brush, and that is one of the things you just need to practice and develop for yourself. So once again, practice, and you guess it, drink some beer and practice. I hope that helps a little bit. We're going to catch up in next part of this tutorial, and we're going to carry on with scroll designs. Later on we're going to incorporate both styles, sword lining and scrolling, and there's a very interesting combinations of the both styles, and we're going to get best of both worlds, hopefully. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all your kind comments and your messages. Any questions for me or this guy over here, drop us a line, and we both do our best to help you out as much as we can. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next time.